So the main aim really for looking into the use of a virtual assistant was to speed up our processes. We know that access to a diagnosis, assessment and diagnosis is really important to enable that person to then access treatment and the support that they need, really. So access to that initial assessment was our primary goal. But also we know offering patients choice is really important to us as an organisation. During COVID, people got a lot more comfortable using technology, and we wanted to tap into this. Particularly the older adult population was suddenly had to get used to using digital technology. So we felt the timing was right to try something new. The main benefit is really getting that patient choice on how they want to have their assessment. For a lot of people, travelling into a clinic setting is not ideal, particularly if they need additional support around their mobility and having a carer with them. The core assessment is a lengthy assessment, so appointments could be up to 2 hours, which is pretty intensive for somebody who's already experiencing difficulties. So the ability to answer questions in the comfort of their own home, to take breaks when they want to have somebody with them if they want to, was really appealing to us. The other benefit really is that the clinician then has those questions filled out prior to the appointment. So they've gathered a lot of crucial information that helps them review that patient and move forward to a diagnosis before the assessment even begins. The other benefit for the carer is that the way the virtual assistant questionnaire is set out means that the carer sections can be answered by the carer in private. When you're in a clinic setting, you have no choice but to ask those questions in front of the person. And carers can find it really difficult to talk openly and honestly when their loved one is sat right next to them. Whereas, if it's on a laptop, you can go into another room and you can answer those in private. And the feedback we've had is that has been a really important change for carers in answering the core assessment questions. The main impact has been having that information prior to an appointment, so that there is a lot of information that the core assessment gives the clinician. So having that information prior to even meeting the person, it enables them to look at what areas to focus on. Is there any follow-up questions they would like to ask to really understand how the person is experiencing cognitive impairment? Time has been a real benefit. So as I said, the assessment process can take up to and over 2 hours, and our clinicians have found it's reducing the appointment time in some cases by half, which enables them to spend much more time with that supportive element of the appointment. It also means that they can have more assessments during the course of a day. If the clinic appointment is taking less time, obviously that means you can fit in more assessments. And overall, that has a massive benefit in the number of assessments we can do per week. Overall, it's been really positive. I think we've been surprised how well this cohort of people have responded to using a digital option. I think the assumption is always that older adults can't or won't, but actually that's not been the case at all. I think it's given us confidence to use digital options. I think the carer, and both the patient and the carer, have really enjoyed being able to do this in the comfort of their own home and take their time. And I think it makes the clinic appointment a little less daunting because it's quicker, and a lot of the intensive, sort of intrusive questions are out of the way already. So it's more of a conversation in the clinic setting. I think the ability for carers to answer questions in private has been a real bonus, and sort of not something we were looking to achieve, but it's something we would like to look to in the future to exploit even further. So we started with quite a small pilot, just with 10 members of staff. So obviously we're now looking to roll that out across our wider community mental health team and give access to more and more people. We would, based on the work we did, we very quickly realised that the questionnaire itself needs revamping. It's far too long and a bit repetitive. And we wouldn't have known that if we hadn't have done this piece of work and examined the questionnaire so closely. So that's the next piece of work. We're also starting to look, not just in the older adult division, but across the trust, other applications. Now that we know a system can talk to our clinical system, it really opens the door for other pre-appointment questionnaires, things like physical health questionnaires, so friends and family tests, those kinds of patient experience questionnaires that we could do using this process. So I think the Trust are very excited about what other applications we could use this process for.